Hello and welcome to your MES lesson. I'm Natalie. Today you're going to learn the what, the how and the when of asking future with how questions. Let's start with what. What are future with how questions used for? They are used to ask about a process in the future. How comes at the beginning of the question. Going to is used to ask about future plans and predictions. Will is most commonly used to ask about decisions. You can emphasize the future tense by using time references. For example, how are you going to revise this tomorrow? How will you revise this tomorrow? Remember, it is possible to use the informal of going to, gonna. Good. Now let's learn how. How do you use future with how questions? First, know how to conjugate how plus be plus going to and will. Let's start with be plus going to. If you want to ask about yourself, please repeat. How am I going to? If you want to ask about me, how are you going to? If you want to ask about Jason, how is Jason going to? If you want to ask about Stacy, how is Stacy going to? If you want to ask about us, how are we going to? If you want to ask about them, how are they going to? Great. Now let's practice with will. If you want to ask about yourself, please repeat, how will I? If you want to ask about me, how will you? If you want to ask about Jason, how will Jason? If you want to ask about Stacy, how will Stacy? If you want to ask about us, how will we? If you want to ask about them, how will they? Excellent. It's very important to memorize these conjugations fluently before you start practicing video B. Next, know your verbs and really study your vocabulary. For example, how are you going to figure this out? Do, arbitrate. Finally, to build a more specific question, you can use a time reference. For example, how are you going to spend your time tomorrow? Or a prepositional phrase. For example, how will you spend your time during the conference? So finally, when do you use future with how questions? You use them to ask about the manner or condition of future plans or decisions during conversation. You can also use them to ask about extent or degree. Excellent. Now, let's review. First, what are future with how questions used for? They are used for asking about processes of future plans or decisions. Second, how do you use future with how questions? You use them by knowing the conjugation of be plus going to and will and building a more specific question with the vocabulary, time references and prepositional phrases. Third, when do you use future with how questions? You use them to learn more about the manner or condition of future plans or decisions. Well done. Let's move on to video B to really practice making a variety of your own questions. Remember to keep on reviewing your vocabulary. I'm Natalie and I look forward to seeing you soon.